do stuffed cabbage rolls. I recently had to take one of my stuffed cabbage roll videos down because YouTube said I had third-party content in there and I did not, and they would not let me contest it any further. And so they were putting big ads on that, and it was really hard to see that video be that successful and not earn any money from it. So I decided to redo it. And this recipe, I think, is even better. So we're gonna have awesome homemade cabbage rolls, a revised version. So in this bowl, I have 1 finely diced onion. I have 4 cloves of pressed garlic. I've got a pound of Zacon Foods lean, 93% lean grass-fed ground beef that we're gonna put in here. And I decided to beef up this recipe and make it go even further by adding carrots to this. It adds some veg, and it really makes an outstanding recipe. It adds a layer of sweetness. So I just get the julienne carrots, or you can julienne them yourself, and chop those up so they distribute easily in there. And then we'll bring our bowl right here. I've got 2 eggs from my girls out back. And that's gonna help bind all this together, because with the vegetables, you don't want your meat mixture falling apart. Put that away. And we've got instant brown rice, delicious. I've got, this is Hungarian paprika, and I'm gonna put the equivalent to good healthy tablespoon and a half for this amount of meat. And then I don't have fresh parsley today. I don't know why that is, but I don't. So we want some parsley in here, and I'm gonna do 2 heaping, maybe 2.5 heaping teaspoons or tablespoons of dried paprika. And then I've got crushed tomatoes here, and I'm just gonna add some of it. Maybe 1/4 cup of crushed tomato. You could use tomato sauce if you wanted. We're going to save the rest of this. And then I am putting a glove on. I am not getting my hands in that mess. And you're just going to mix it all up together. Get it all incorporated. And because there's very, very little fat in this meat, that's why I added the extra veg and the binder, because you're really dealing with a lean thing. And this is a great diabetic recipe. Now I'm going to add some salt and pepper to this, but I really want this to have a chance to sit for a little bit while I'm preparing my cabbage. And so I'm going to cover this with saran wrap. It's going back in the refrigerator, and I'll bring you back and show you how I start my cabbage. So I've got my cabbage here all prepped, and what I did was I got part of the core out. It's hard to get the core perfectly out with a paring knife. You kind of have to go in at an angle, and I can get the rest of it out as I go along. But this is going to go in my pot of boiling water, core side down, and this cabbage weighs almost 4 pounds, 3.11 ounces. Yeah. So we're going to have nice big leaves to wrap our meat filling in, and then we're going to let this braise on the stove. You can do this in the crock pot, you can do it in a baking pan or baking dish and braise it in the oven, but today I'm going to use my Dutch oven here to braise the cabbage rolls. So it's going to be fantastic. All right, guys, let's get this all prepped up, and once I've got a pile of leaves and we're ready to start wrapping. So I've got my cabbage steamed off, and for now I'm going to show you from a distance, but I like to take the leaves, and you can get down here at the one end, you'll see there's like kind of a coarse little spot there. Take that off. Your chickens will love it, or you can cut a wedge in there and cut that. It's like part of the core, and it can make it very tough. So I've got these beautiful big leaves off of this big cabbage that it's just going to be fantastic. So let me get my filling. I'm going to get a glove on. So in the bottom of my Dutch oven, I'm going to pour a part of, well, looks like the whole thing, an 8-ounce can of no salt added tomato sauce. And now we've got our meat mixture here. And I want to tell you, I added about 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika because I feel a little spicy today. And the paprika really just sends this over the top anyway. So added flavor. So what you're going to do is grab some of your meat mixture, pull your two ends together on your cabbage roll, and I'm going to bring you in for a close-up so you can see this as well. And you're going to go ahead and give a generous amount, because you figure 1 to 2 of these is going to be a serving size. So you're going to pull that over, draw in your edges, and like this one needs to be unfolded, but draw in each side just like that, tuck and roll. And I've never had to toothpick mine or anything, but look how beautiful that is. And you're going to put these seam side down in whatever pan you've got that you're using. So what we have is, I've already taken the core out of this one, as you can see, but I'm going to show you, and then I'll do one more after this. So I kind of pull it together, get a handful of your meat mixture, and you don't have to be overly exact on this, but kind of think of what you would like as a portion for each cabbage roll. Bring up your end there, fold your side over, it's kind of like a burrito, and then you're going to roll. And don't worry if you have a split there from that. You've got this perfect cabbage roll, and this is going to cook absolutely beautiful, skin or seam side down. And I can tell you that my Dutch oven fits a lot of these. Okay. Now I can show you, here's that. This is that core here. That's part of that core. Go ahead and take that out, and I just cut a little triangle. If they're really tender, you don't have to worry about it, but I don't like it in there. So again, nice little handful, maybe 2-3 ounces of meat is a good size, especially for as low fat as this meat is. It's not going to be fatty, it's just going to be delicious. And we're going to tuck and roll and seam side down. So I have 9 really large, beautiful cabbage rolls. And I should have actually planned this a little bit better. I would have gone ahead and made a bunch for the freezer, because this will be good for dinner and lunches for us for a couple of days. But I think the next time I do this, I'm going to make a bulk batch and put them in the freezer. They freeze extremely well. So I've still got a lot of that cabbage head left, but we love sauteed cabbage. So we'll have that as a side dish, in the next day or two as well. So in here now, I've got the sauce at the bottom. You kind of see that seeping through. And you're going to need the liquid because of the rice. So I add down my crushed tomatoes. I've used diced tomatoes. I've used just tomato sauce. The rice needs to absorb some sauce. And, it's going to be so good. But remember, the vegetables let off some sauce as well. And then we have beautiful sauerkraut. Get your favorite kind, and I'll tell you what, I'm kind of picky. There's 3 kinds I guess I like, and then there's some that I really dislike. This one is a Clausen sauerkraut, and I like this one as well. Let that juice get in there, because trust me when I tell you, even if you're not a sauerkraut fan, this is delicious. My husband cannot stand sauerkraut, but this is one of his all-time favorite meals. And I just think it's absolutely fantastic that he loves it that much, because he always asks, what is that? And I'll say sauerkraut, and he really can't believe it. There's a big piece of kraut there. And you're going to use about equal portion of kraut to tomato puree. So whatever that might be. And this recipe can be multiplied or just cut in half. So if you don't have a big appetite or a big family to cook for, you could certainly cut this in half. So this is going to go on the stove with the lid on, and I'm going to let this braise for the next couple hours until everything is cooked through. The rice is completely cooked, and the meat is cooked through, and you have these beautiful cabbage rolls. And I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. All right, so my mixture is simmering. As you can see, it's simmering, and I just kind of go around and gently lift, so some of that liquid can get in between. And I don't want to hurt my cabbage rolls at all. But I do want to add, at this point, I'm going to add a can of ready diced organic petite tomatoes. I just really like having the extra tomato in there. If I had fresh tomatoes that I could throw in here, I would, because it's delicious. I have been waiting all afternoon. So I just come down in here and grab a big hunk of this. Oh. I want some of that tomato and sauerkraut mixture. You have to have that part. Let's make sure you separate that. And this is anything but a YouTube bite, but I can't wait. Whew. And it's hot. Oh my goodness. I love this. Huh. Mmm. 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 Let me just tell you, this is absolutely everything that I've been craving and waiting for all afternoon. This is fantastic. I truly hope that it inspires you to try this recipe or try some variation of it. It's so delicious. It's inexpensive and it is easy to do. Your family's going to love it, and it's a great way to get in a lot of vegetables and use a really lean meat, or don't use meat at all. Use lentils or something like that in there in place if you're a vegetarian. So I can't wait to see you next time. I certainly hope it makes you go over and check out all the description links that I have down below. Go over and shop at Amazon. It won't cost you anymore, but it helps my channel out. And you just search through the link that I've given you. And, oh, say hi on Facebook and go check out Zacon Foods. And I don't know about you, but I have to have another bite. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Ridiculous. So good. So good. This is the stuff that you remember from your grandma. Oh goodness. Okay, I better give my husband his plate. All right, I'll see you next time.